We're going to get into some keys of the game. We'll drop some predictions coming up next here on Locked On Gamecocks and Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On your first listen, whether it's Locked On Gamecocks or Locked On Sooners. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. So, Jay, talk to us about the offense. Who are some key players for Oklahoma against South Carolina's defense that have to step up and play well beyond John Mateer?
You know, of course, your leader there. The offensive line itself needs to, but I think that you need to get something more out of a Tory Blaylock in the run game, and just finding those little holes and running through trash and making it happen. He did that a few times against Texas. You saw him in one of them. He kind of saw the hole in a delayed moment, but looked out and still was able to get like 11-yard run. But for Oklahoma, opening up the hole in the middle, you know, mainly because South Carolina is kind of thin in that interior spot. Just finding some of those holes on occasion on top of catching some screen passes, tunnels, all of that. Plus the wide receiver room, man, you got to catch some balls. And outside of catching it, can you please break some tackles? I think that that's kind of one of the key things that you need. Make people miss out in space. If you do that, you got a good chance. On the offensive side, man, it's going to be those wide receivers, Tory Blaylock, Isaiah Satania. Heck, Giovanni Gibson should get more. If he can go out there and do what's needed to, like I said, make some guys miss or catch something deep, could be make it challenging for South Carolina. But if anything, I need to see something out of these running backs. I don't think you should, like Chris said, don't force the issue on the run game, but you're still going to have to run the ball. You can't not do it. Just don't go out there and try to do it 50 times and think it's going to work. Get about 20 good ones, mix it up well, get some, like I said, some bubble screens or whatever. Just don't do any more jet sweeps. That ain't been working because nobody can block out front.
For a jet sweep.
Do not do it. Just run it up the middle and see where it goes from there.
And Chris, for South Carolina's offense, what do you think is going to be the key to the game in this one?
The phrase I just said, it shows you how sad things have been. Like, I would genuinely kill to see a jet sweep or orbit motion or some sort of different setup. Just for the love of God, I would love to see something like that. I think the key is going to be like for both sides, like you said, you can't be one dimensional, but you also need to play to your strengths. I think that you haven't shown me a lot of the fact that what the offensive identity that South Carolina has kind of made for themselves is the right one, because it hasn't been really good at all. I think in that game against LSU, they had 27 total pass attempts. I think they threw for under 100 yards. And you talked about the fact that like only 5 of those attempts were even over 10 yards. You need to try to stretch the field a little bit. You definitely need to figure out a way to get Faison or Attaway or Fuller in the run game going to where you're not just running between the tackles and it's 2nd and 9. Because I tell you what, at some point, it's like the most penalized team in the SEC. It's going to be 2nd and 14 on the next play. You got to figure out a way to stay ahead of the chains. And most importantly, like I want to see them take shots and either get Harbor or Vandrevius Jacobs or, my God, Mazeo Bennett or some of these younger guys like Brian Rowe, like involved in the passing game. I think all of that's capable. I think the biggest thing for me that's not a player, you have to make those fans want to stay for 4 quarters because it's a very dejected fan base right now, and I understand why. But like an 11:45 or 12:45 Eastern time kick sucks in general, especially for Williams-Brice. You're not getting enough time to like really get the place going. That's I think a fortunate thing for Oklahoma. But those fans will be there and ready to go, sold out and pumped up at kickoff. How do you make them stay for 4 quarters? And the way you do that is making sure you're still in the game going into the 4th quarter.
Well, I think what you mentioned there, taking shots down the field, that's been one area of Oklahoma's defense that's been a bit of a weakness, right, Jay?
Yeah, that is kind of been a weakness for Oklahoma. I don't know. Next question.
Oh boy.
We've been susceptible to some big plays down the field, some 50-50 balls. We've given up some plays. Oklahoma's got to be better in that. So defensively, Jay, slowing down LaNorris Sellers, slowing down South Carolina, what does Oklahoma got to do?
I'm sorry, I'm just annoyed as I keep thinking about that. Just how it's the defense.
I annoyed you this time. It's my fault this time?
Not you. The thought of just that.
Fair enough.
I just need some competence on the offensive side, and especially on the road here. But on the defense, really, they've done a really good job of minimizing the bleeding on stuff like that. But they're susceptible to big plays. They're gonna give up a deep one here or there, and it's more so because of reliance on the defensive line to go in and push people around and get the pressure that you need. The problem is when you're dealing with someone like LaNorris Sellers, you got to be careful with that, because if you think that your front four, which should be able to, LSU did it, but we can't do transient property around here because Florida did the same thing to Texas. Somehow they figured out everything right there on the spot. And South Carolina fired their offensive line coach, which tells me this offensive line is going to play a heck of a lot better. They're going to have a career game. So you can't rely on just 4 men going in there. You're going to have to dial some pressure. We need some safety blitzes. You're going to have to keep pressure going and make LaNorris think more than he likes. But I mean, as Chris mentioned last year, we got 6 sacks in that game. And so you saw LaNorris kind of struggling a little bit there. You're getting another 11 o'clock kick. So you should be able to do similar pressure, but you got to be prepared for him to launch it deep. Nyck Harbor still is on the team. I mean, you throw it deep. If you can get that dude just going on the streak, he gone. And you cannot play around. I mean, that's like another Cam Coleman type situation. Do not let him just launch it. And that's the thing that's what was frustrating me, because as you were talking about it, I started thinking about Cam Coleman. Then I started thinking about Nyck Harbor. And I'm like, shoot, it's another one. Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's not fair. You got another freak on the outside you got to deal with. Just hope that they don't take the Auburn game plan and just throw it up in the air to him the entire game.
Yeah, I think I'm concerned more that they take the Texas game plan, that they throw a lot of quick passes, bubbles. They get the ball out of LaNorris' hands quickly to help mitigate the Oklahoma defensive line. But Chris, do you think that that's something you might see out of the South Carolina offense, or are they too shul it up that, hey, it's pro style, we're,
Dude, a screen pass is like, it's just so blatantly obvious that like that should be. It's hard to make me miss somebody like Mike Bobo. And a screen pass is something that's like so basic that I feel like you already have an offensive line that's getting just it's turnstiles, right? So it's like figure out a way to keep a defense not from pinning their ears back on every single play. And it's just been too vanilla. I think, with the play calling. So I know what Jay said, and here's the thing: I'll give you pro and con of what you said, which is like you're right. Like Harbor is people don't understand the Harbor situation, because it's like Harbor is not just a good athlete and a fast player. He was trying to qualify for the U.S. Olympic team. Like it is not a situation where he's
Olympic fast,
4-3
not
guy.
football
He
fast.
is right. He's world-class speed fast.
Yeah.
But like I just said, against LSU, you had five pass attempts the whole game over 10 yards. That's beyond me to think that like why that would ever be the case. And I'll also say the other side of that though is if you get someone open, people don't give LaNorris Sellers enough credit for the passer that he is, and there's a reason for that that I'm not going to get into. But there's a reason that if everyone is only talking about him being a dual threat quarterback. Anyway, he is much more accurate than Jackson Arnold was. Jay gets it. I think both of you got it. But like, there's a reason why like Jackson Arnold is not as accurate of a downfield thrower. So if you have those shots, I don't think he'll miss. You just have to give him enough time to be able to get those shots. I'm begging to see something different. I would almost be okay with a loss if it came up as, hey man, they won the turnover battle, but you took some deep shots and you did something different as from what we have seen for the first 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than seeing your team not try to move the ball beyond mistakes. Like Jeff Lebby, I think he's a good offensive coordinator, but that's one of my frustrations with his offense a lot of times was 10 yards and in that you're not challenging the sticks. You're not challenging the teams downfield. And so they have no reason to play down the field. They can force the issue within 10 to 15 yards. And if you're not going to throw it beyond that, then why do they have to worry about it? So I totally get what you're saying there. I think you've got to have balance. Yes, I do think a bubble screen every once in a while, just to keep guys honest, defenses honest. Yeah, I think they're important. The jet sweep is kind of forbidden fruit in Oklahoma circles because of Jeff Lebby trying to run it with Drake Stoops. Great wide receiver, but not somebody that I would be calling a jet sweep for.
I mean, we ran with Deion Burks this week, and that didn't go.
Deion Burks just can't make anybody miss right now. So I'm not
at all.
He's fast, but he can't make anybody miss. Like, you've got to find some balance in your attack. You can't just throw everything 10 yards and in. You've got to take some shots down the field to just even back people up. One of my favorites, I love it when offensive coordinators come out and like play action, deep shot, first play of the game, whether it completes or gets picked or whatever, just to tell the opposing defense, hey, guess what? We're going down the field, so get ready. Predictions. Let's go. Jay, we'll start with you. Who do you think wins this game? You got a score?
I guess it's me. I think it's going to be a close one, but I do think Oklahoma covers the spread. I'm thinking 20-10. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The Oklahoma offense has to show me that they can score more than 20 points before I believe they'll go over 20 points. And I need South Carolina to show me that they can get past 10 points. Both teams have been struggling on the offensive side more than they probably should. Just as Chris mentioned, it feels like there's no trust in LaNorris Sellers being able to do what we know LaNorris Sellers can do. He can throw the ball. Yeah. So let the man throw it. Give him some creativity out there, please. What are we doing here? But it just doesn't feel like the OC. I don't know why. He's just not. So give me 2010. I think Oklahoma can win this game on the road.
Chris.
Now keep in mind, we're recording this on Tuesday. So I'm in the mindset, and I'm just being very transparent about this. I'm in the mindset with this team right now where I'm not going to give up hope yet because we saw them be 3-3 last year and then reel off 6 straight wins. So I'm going to give myself another week to be delusional and believe it can change. But we're also entering this time of the season where you have this type of team, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like Monday and Tuesday, everything sucks. You're not going to be able to win. It's impossible. But Thursday and Friday, dang it, dude, they're going to come out here and shock the world. So I'm going to say on Tuesday, what I'm saying right now, it's going to be different, I think, by the end of the week because I'm going to talk myself into it. But I think 27-20 is probably around the score, 24-17 type deal. And I think it'll be close, but I think it'll also be a situation where you're going to have to figure out ways to generate points non-offensively again if you're going to keep it close.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. I think it's going to be a close game, and I'm kind of in Jay's position as well, where I need to see the offense a little bit more efficient against a good SEC team or a good SEC defense, we'll say. And so I'm thinking Oklahoma something like 20-16. I think South Carolina gets it into Oklahoma's half the field because we've seen Oklahoma play some bend don't break, but then they'll hold to field goal. Or we've seen John Mateer throw the interception on his half of the 50, but the Oklahoma defense stands. So I'll give LaNorris Sellers some credit. I think he's a good player. I really do. I just think right now things are not coming together for that offense, but he's one of those players that if he's right, it doesn't matter necessarily what else is going on around him. He can beat you himself if he's really playing well. So,
yep.
All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, that's it, man. I'm going to go pee.
I'm going to fight you, Chris.
Right. Yeah.
Can't wait to see you.
Good times.
I'm totally going to bear hug you when I see you.
Saturday. Make sure you're tuned in and subscribe to Locked On Gamecocks, wherever you get your podcast, Locked On Sooners, wherever you get your podcast. Chris, you doing a post-game show after the game?
No. Oh yeah, probably live recap.
Yeah,
it's odd because it's like right during the LSU game, so I got to do LSU like for work, and then I got to do this, so it'll be a perfect staggered thing. So I'll be doing both, and it should be a good day of football, guys. It'll be a good day of football.
It's gonna be a great day of football,
man. So everybody complains about, or at least all the non-SEC people talk about, Oklahoma going to regret being in the SEC. Like as a fan of football, I love this because every single week is an awesome Saturday of college football. Like even what was it like 2 weeks ago when there wasn't a whole lot of action, there were still some really good games. Yeah. But that's just the SEC for you, right? Like it's just fun football every single week.
It means more. It just means more.
I do like winning games more than anything, but it is fun. It's fun because we're now at a place too where before you guys got it used to be that 2:30 game was really great, and then you had like the rest of the day is like, maybe there's something here. But yeah. All right, fiance's home. I got to run before I get in trouble.
All right, hey, go check it out. Thanks again for tuning into every show here on the Locked On Network. We'll talk to you next time.
Boomer Sooner.